Who stole the pumpkin spice? It was so, so nice. Did they hide it in the rice? Did they give it to the mice? Who stole the pumpkin spice? The world's favorite recipe. Has it replaced the cup of tea? Who took it from us all? Who should we be able to call? Who are we going to call? Who stole the pumpkin spice? So here we go. I'm cutting out my little label, my coffee cup. I have a bookshelf there. And we're heading down the road of today's what if so-and-so stole the pumpkin spice. Now, if you're new here, next month I am going to be we figured out who we call to help us find the pumpkin spice, and I'm going to intermingle those characters in with another set of prompts, which I haven't made up my mind with yet, and get the mystery solved as to who stole the pumpkin spice. Okay, this is a printable from Robin McClendon. I'm getting texts from Bye Bunch. She has a new Patreon video up. Yay, yay, yay. It's the highlight of my day. This is a beautiful printable from Robin McClendon. Oh, she can do a jelly plate like I wish I could. So anyhow, this is going to be the background. Who is today's person? Anne Frank. Now, later on in my babbling at the end, I came up with a great phrase. And I'm not going to spoil it. You got to wait till the end. But I am going in here with brighter colors on top of a dark background for specific reasons. That box that I pulled out is my medium size scraps. I have a large size scrap box and a medium size scrap box and a tiny scrap box. As far as scraps go, that's all I have now, except for the 2 boxes of Halloween, the 1 box of Christmas, and the 1 box of New York. So I used to have drawers and boxes everywhere of paper scraps. I have gotten to the point where I don't keep every margin that I rip off of a page anymore. When I'm through with the magazine, I throw the magazine away or take it. I now take it to our journal club, and they're enjoying cutting them up and everything too. The greatest compliment I've had is the lady that runs the journal club at the rec center. She said, "I'm starting to do my scrapbooks like you with letters from magazines." She goes, "I love it." I'm like, "Yes, I imprinted on the brain of another person. Yay!" Anyhow, all these bright and perky papers are just scraps. I love the angular cutout sections of all of them showing up today. So I just went with it. I kept going with that. And I don't ever have a plan. Well, I'm making more plans than I used to. I've got a theme for the month of this month. I've got a theme for the month of next month. I've got a theme for Christmas, sort of, already in my head. But I try, and if I make myself prompts, I do need structure, but I don't plan ahead within that structure for the day. Okay, there's the bookcase. So this is her world beyond the bookcase. And I'd like to work intuitively. I don't come up with, okay, I knew I was going to do Anne Frank, and I had looked on Wikipedia last night, read her biography, and kind of just got my headspace right. Generally, if my headspace is right, the supplies I have, I'm okay to go forward with what I already have in stock. Okay. I think I probably already have said this, possibly in the thing, oh, I didn't put my coffee cup in. I gotta put my coffee cup in. Anne Frank. Let's see. Hidden behind the bookcase. I tried to make this bright and perky with a touch of murky. Oh my goodness, bright and perky with a touch of murky. It's so easy to entertain me. Anyhow, because the whole situation was murky. She had to hide, which was murky. The war, okay, we're going to go in to the capsule of the thing. The war, having to hide. No, the war, Jewish, having to hide, being a teenager having to hide, being a teenager girl having to hide. She still had a pretty, I don't want to say happy outlook. She had a, what's the right word? She had a bright outlook, okay? It wasn't bright and perky fractions in and amongst all the murky. So I did bright and perky in and amongst the murky behind the bookcase, which is where they lived. I love this. I did not know how old she was for sure. We have been to Amsterdam a couple times, and I have been by the Anne Frank house, but there's always a gigantic line, and I don't know if you can make reservations. I have never checked into going that far down the road. I don't think our friends, because our friends that we travel with a lot have been there at different times than we have, and I think they have been in the Anne Frank house. But the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. took me to my knees. And I can't imagine doing this. There's a lot of things in the Holocaust Museum that are referencing Anne Frank, obviously. I did not realize her father survived. And he died like 1980, I think it said on that there Wikipedia. The Holocaust Museum, I've been there twice. I've been inside twice. I stayed for an afternoon once. The second time I was with my sister, and I said, take as long as you want. I can't do this again. It's just so overwhelming. Plus, I've been to the Yad Vashem, I can't remember what it's called, museum in Jerusalem. That, at the time, that came after the 2 visits to the Holocaust Museum. But at the time, that might have been before a trip to Amsterdam that we were able to do the Anne Frank if we wanted to. I can't do anymore. It was horrible. I guess it's called triggering for me. I'm not Jewish, but I do look Jewish. And when I was a tiny baby, I was pinched on the cheek by, according to my parents, my mother, a lot of little Jewish women, and said, what a cute little Jewish baby. And when they knew, my mom would call me Beth, and they're like, oh gosh, which is a popular Jewish woman's name. And, you know, they would all go crazy. What a beautiful Jewish baby. Because I dark hair, dark eyes, olive skin. It used to be more olive. Now it's just freckled and wrinkled and old. Age spots, not even freckles. But anyhow, it triggers me as to what if I was living back then? You know, who knows? You know, yes, my last name was Irish, completely Irish, MCC, you know, and I don't know. I don't know. But anyhow, I do admire her greatly. Greatly. The amount of pep and perkiness she had living behind a bookcase was outstanding, in my opinion, and kind of was a fortune teller of what was to come. And amazing. And her dad, I read in Wikipedia that her dad published her book the first time, her diary, because she always wanted to be a writer. And he said she was going to be a writer, which is like the most amazing thing. Now, did other people come before that or after that and all of that? I don't know. And that doesn't interest me. I'm not here to, you know, critique anybody. Ooh. I got my Halloween bracelet on. Do you know where I got this? I got this at the train station in Washington, D.C. a long time ago. I mean, maybe 20 years ago, but it's the prettiest Halloween bracelet I've ever seen, and I still love it. And it's just these big baubles. Love it. Anyhow, okay. Blah, 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 blah. We went from Amsterdam to murky and perky to DC. Okay, whatever. Well, DC has the Holocaust Museum. That Holocaust Museum is outstanding. If you can go there, go there. It is outstanding. The entrance takes you immediately into the place, and time and it is amazing. They also have an outstanding bookshop. Outstanding. In fact, when my sister was with me on the second time we went up there together, I said, you take as long as you want. I'm going to the bookshop. And I was able to completely get lost in that bookshop the whole time she was going through the museum. So, and she's not fast. So, it's an outstanding bookshop. Anyhow, okay, we're going to stop blabbering. The weather has changed dramatically here. In fact, my husband walked the dog this morning, like an hour and a half ago, with a jacket on. Hello. I got on the webcam at the beach. It is 66 degrees there. Hello. We went from 80s and 90s last week to cold, and it's giving me a sinus headache. So I'm going to go take some aspirin and not feel sorry for myself in front of this lady. This lady. Okay. Or the queen. Oh, yesterday was... Oh, I loved it. My sister's getting mad at me because I can't talk on the phone. I'm watching the queen. Again? Yes, again. Anyhow. Okay. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. No more babbling.